Hi, good afternoon. My name's Will Rowley. I'm one of the pre-sales engineers at Cloud Direct. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. We're going to look a little bit at hosted telephony, what that is, what it means for recruitment firms, and why we're finding that it's a very appealing option these days. Just before we start, I want to very briefly tell you a bit about Cloud Direct and who we are. We're a cloud services brokerage. That is to say that we leverage big technology companies' infrastructure and software and make it available to small and medium-sized businesses. And when I say software, I'm really talking about email programs, hosted exchange, calendar systems, file sharing applications, hosted desktop. Today we're going to talk specifically about telephony, but we also have instant messaging as an option. And from our pedigree really was always backup and disaster recovery, for which there will be other webinars that you're more than welcome to attend. Of course, the thing about cloud services is that it all is underpinned by the quality of your connectivity. And to that end, we have an arm of the business which is explicit in providing business-grade leased lines, connectivity and managed networks to make sure that you can really get the most out of cloud services. On top of that, we're really a very service-driven business. Our ethos is that to have a 24/7, 365 available service desk at the end of the phone, and we measure ourselves very strictly using a metric called Net Promoter Score. I won't talk about how it's figured out, but the UK national average for IT services industries is just about 8 or 9%. As you can see, our monthly NPS exceeds that in spades. To that end, we've got third-party accreditation that backs up that real dedication to service, whether it's through customer service awards that we've achieved, or just some of the industry practices that we follow, so things like Prince2 for our project managers and ITIL from our service delivery point of view. We're also G-Cloud, or Government Procurement Service accredited as well, so public institutions can come to us for our services. To that end, it really is underpinned by the security that our products offer. We're ISO 27001 accredited and ISO 20000 accredited. Really what that means is that we put the processes and the diligence in place to make sure that the data and the systems and services that you're taking from us is entirely secure and you're not going to be opened up to any compliance issues by using our systems. So that's a bit about us as Cloud Direct. And as I mentioned, today we're going to talk about hosted telephony. And what we really mean by hosted telephony is voice over IP. That is to say, using your broadband lines and your lease lines as a way of transacting your telephone calls instead of the older, more legacy ISDN technology, and how that can really drive your business. So looking at, in particular, the needs of your business, we've got things like the image of your business and how we can help that out. So we're looking at a corporate number, single point of contact for the business, regardless of the number of sites that you might use. HD call quality. For the first time, we'd be able to offer call quality that is better than your normal standard telephones. Again, it's if you're speaking to somebody on an HD call, it's eerily clear, but really does add that professional touch. It's a resilient platform. If you're using sort of more legacy technologies and PBXs, those boxes that you have in the cupboards there, they aren't resilient. If there's something that goes wrong with that, for whatever reason it goes down, you have a power cut, then your telephony is offline and you're not making money, you're not receiving calls, you're not placing candidates. So really, the ability to be able to leverage a data center and all of the infrastructure that's put in place to keep it online really adds to the resilience that you'll get from a hosted telephony solution. And we've got intelligent call routing. So critically, and I hate this, I hate ringing a client or ringing a company where I'm put through a dozen different menu systems. What I like is to be able to get to the person that I want to speak to as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and putting you in control of your call routing and giving you the ability to farm off your candidates to the right consultants in the right manner is key. So the agility that a cloud solution would bring you, certainly we look at flexible. Flexible in terms of being able to move handsets from different sites, take them home, work from cafes, work from client sites is key. You no longer have to be tied to your desk phone to receive calls on your direct dial. We have mobile office applications which really work with this flexible approach that allow you to take that extension with you. So you're still reachable by the office, you're still reachable by your key contacts. It's scalable. Whether you start with 15 consultants or scale up to 30 or 60 or 90, it's an infinitely scalable solution. So you can add and remove users as you see fit, and you can add and remove features and functionality associated with them as is appropriate for the business. You can control them from anywhere. No longer are you at the behest of a third-party maintenance company to be able to move somebody's extension from one desk to another. It's all very much given over to control by yourself so that you can do what's most necessary. And it's future-proof. A lot of these older, more legacy systems, they require additional upgrades to be able to take advantage of some of the new technologies that are coming online. We've had umpteen number of upgrades go through in the last few months, including things like presence, so you can see who's online, when, and that you're able to route calls effectively to those users, and they're online. And we've also had things like call reporting, which show a plethora of statistics about the most active users. And again, if it's any kind of sales environment, then it's one of the KPIs. How much are these guys on the phone? How much business are they generating for us? Then we look at the productivity. Really, it's the output of all this effort. It's self-service. You don't have to, as I said, be at the behest of a third-party company to be able to make any of these changes. You can make changes on the fly. If you've got users that, for whatever reason, are not available out of the office, then you can redirect their phones. You can set their call forwarding for them. The call routing, as we've touched on before, whether it's setting up menu systems or hunt groups or however it is that you want your users to, your callers to reach your users, it can be done easily and effectively. A real boon that I find is voicemail to email. If you're anything like me, I hate ringing the number to pick up my voicemails. I'd much rather receive that on my iPhone and press play. So there's voicemail to email. It's a really easy, nice piece of functionality that actually makes me a bit more efficient. It's a bit of time I don't waste dialing through and putting PIN numbers in. The other bonus here is if you've got users that have their own voicemail boxes and they're not available for whatever reason, they won't pick those voicemails up for hours or days, then you can set that that email with the voicemail attached to a central repository for it. So there's a very nice, easy way of being able to keep hold of where voicemails are. And finally, we can work anywhere. So that's the real boon of the system, of being able to pick up that handset, take it to a different site. If for whatever reason the site's unavailable, or it's power cut, or the broadband's even been cut, then you can take those handsets, plug them in anywhere you can get the internet, and effectively your telephone system is still working and still routing. On top of that, even if let's say you have no handsets, you're still able to put call forwarding rules on. You're still able to send calls to mobiles, so you're never out of touch. So you're not ever being having the negative impact of not being at the end of the phone. And the security aspect, we provide a couple of applications alongside the main call recording platform. The main call routing platform, like call recording. So we can digitally sign and make sure that we have calls that are tamper-proof. They're submittable in legal cases, and really it's a way of being able to have a check and balance for your users and certainly for your clients, so that everything is completely above board. Everyone knows calls are being recorded and that they are submittable. There's fraud protection built into the platform. And if it's not happened to you, then you're very lucky, but there are instances where hacking of systems occurs, and you can be subject to very, very large phone bills from people that have dialed premium rate numbers abroad off the platform as a way of making money. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, or certainly it's not a major issue, but we do see it more and more, and our platform has a number of built-in resiliences to that. So whether it's because all of the handsets that we employ are tested to destruction to make sure that this isn't possible, or whether we have proactive monitoring so that we can see if there's any bizarre usage on a particular account, we can make sure that that is investigated as possibly fraudulent. So from that point of view, you're protected. We have CRM integration tools which allow us to tag calls and tag the recordings of those calls to a user's a customer's account, for instance, so that any interaction of a telephone nature with that client is captured, is recorded, and is fully auditable. And if you have users or consultants that leave the business, they may still try and take a phone with them or try and work from elsewhere, then you can remotely deprovision that phone and reduce that threat that they're taking client lists and things. So just another way of being able to be in control of your telephony. So there are some of the main features and benefits of the system, and really why recruitment consultants are coming to us and looking for us to help them with their telephony. If we'd like, if you've got a requirement you want to talk to us about, we've got any more questions about how the system works, then our number's up on screen there in the bottom left. Alternatively, please get us on the email, and we'll happily have a chat with you and see